Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
Miraculously, the Diamondbacks enter the All-Star break with a winning record. They have survived an alarmingly awful first half from their reigning Rookie of the Year, and they have survived a slate of injuries that have seen their top four pitchers start just 32 of 97 games, which means this team has somehow manufactured their own reprieve to a season full of nightmare fuel. This team has somehow survived a slew of spot starts, whether it's Ryan Nelson, Christian Mena, or Yilbert Diaz. And that's the good news. But the flip side is the pressure that now exists on Torey Lovullo and everyone else in that dugout because of that reprieve. It means this team better make the playoffs or else. Seriously, there is one failure worse than wasting a magical ride to the World Series, and that would be wasting their current position. And that means Corbin Carroll has to get his groove back. Paul Sewald can no longer be flammable, needs to leave the gas can in the bullpen. Eduardo Rodriguez, Merrill Kelly, Jordan Montgomery all have to be available, and this team needs to find a better, more refined, sustainable focus that too often wanes in the middle of games. Incredibly, nothing of consequence has been lost just yet. But if the Diamondbacks cannot find higher ground or find a way to capitalize on this reprieve, this will truly go down as one of the worst baseball seasons in a town that has seen far more than its share.
Good. That's the beautiful thing about the game of baseball is with so many games and so many opportunities to succeed or fail, you can break it up into stretches, 2-week stretches, week stretches, 10-day stretches, however, feels good. But, I think, we made a good adjustment, and I think this last stretch has been great. Confidence is high for sure.
That's Christian Walker of the Diamondbacks. His thoughts going into the All-Star break, which will he's going to get the break just like most of the Diamondbacks players will. Not selected to the All-Star team, and yeah, it's weird, looking at this stretch because there's been a lot of painful losses in this stretch, but only painful losses. There's nothing else. It's wins and painful losses right now for about the last 2 weeks.
No, you're right.
And I agree with Christian Walker. This is a good stretch of baseball for the Diamondbacks. But another thing that we didn't talk about earlier in this and the gist of your blast is things went horribly wrong in a number of different ways for this team, from injuries to we already talked about the Corbin Carroll drop-off. Gabby Moreno did not have the elevation that we thought. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. has taken a step back. Eugenio Suarez, until recently, had done nothing for this team. And then you look at the bullpen. Their bullpen ERA at the break is 26th in Major League Baseball. The only teams worse than them in bullpen ERA are four of the worst teams in the league. Yeah. The White Sox, Angels, Marlins, and Rockies. So a lot of this being even a game above 500 makes absolutely no sense.
No, it doesn't.
And that might be just the aura and connectivity, again, to use a 2023 phrase, of this team, that they find ways to get by that.
It's sort of like when you watch a movie and say a dude gets thrown in prison for like something he didn't do or commit, and then he gets that reprieve and he gets let out of jail, and then he gets caught up in something stupid and thrown right back in jail. The Diamondbacks have to not be that guy. Yeah. They have to take this reprieve and run with it. Like I said, if they would have won yesterday, and if they had been sitting at 3 games over 500, I'm not sure I would have believed it. I think I would have struggled to really gone, this is not true. I've seen this season. They're not 3 games over 500. So what happened yesterday kind of is in line with what they've been, but this is truly remarkable to me to suffer everything that they've suffered and have found a way to be here with a winning record. They can't blow it now. They've got to find a way to come back from this thing, and I hope what Torey Lovullo told them that this team takes seriously. Go do what you want to do. Meet us in Chicago in the middle of the day on Thursday. We're going to have a workout Thursday night. We're going to hit the ground running on Friday. I hope that they take that seriously. I hope that they step back and realize, you know what? For all this garbage that we've dealt with and created over the first 97 games, it's right there for us.
Here's Zach Gallen, who had a I'm not going to play that Zach Gallen sound now. I'm not going to get caught.
Here, I'll do
again.
it for you.
Never mind. I thought it was a Lavello quote, but it's a
there you
Gallen
go.
quote. It's funny, too, when we talk about the disappointment factor. If we were going to poll the Diamondbacks fan base at this point and say, who are you most disappointed in? I'm curious what the results would be. I'm thinking, even though with the recent surge, that Suarez would be the answer.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a social studies question for you.
Oh, is it out there already?
Yeah. Wait till 9 o'clock.
Is it open-ended?
It is open-ended.
Okay. I think it would be and I haven't seen the question, obviously. Corbin Carroll, Suarez, and Montgomery would be the three biggest recipients of the criticism.
Yeah, I would say that's right.
And do you think that's fair?
Yeah, I do. And so, listen, do we have hopes that Corbin Carroll is going to go back to being an everyday force of nature? Like Jared said, probably not, right? But Paul Sewald can't do what he did this team in the last 10 days. That has to be a blip. Hopefully that is just a week in every reliever's life where the pitches are flat and nothing's breaking and you just don't have the juice you need.
Jared, when you were gone last week, Jared brought up a good point. I know.
Did you see what you missed? The one time
you missed it, and he brought up this one good point of the year. But he said baseball is so weird in the fact that a great player, when they have a bad year or a step back year, it is absolutely noticeable. If you hold this up to Devin Booker. Devin Booker, even on this show, we said, wow, this is the first year maybe Devin Booker had a step back in his career. And then you look at the numbers, and he averaged 27 points per game. And statistically, he was amazing. So it was just a perception thing.
The Corbin Carroll thing would be the equivalent of Devin Booker scoring 12 points a game for an entire season.
Yeah, right. It's true.
And that doesn't happen.
So that was your one good point. That was a good point.
Not bad.
Not bad.
You're good until about November, Jared.
All right, good, cool.
Start concocting that next good point.
Yeah.
But even I was at the game on Friday night, and I know he delivered in a big spot later in the game, but early in the game, you're watching Corbin Carroll at bats, and you're like, wow, he just doesn't even hit the ball hard anymore.
I know.
Everything's like a little dribbler.
Yeah. So again, Ketel Marte got what he wanted more than anything else. He wanted that All-Star jersey more than anything else in the world. And he's been terrific. Now, I think everything from this point forward now has got to be on that collective again. And there's a lot of little individual agendas. Every sports team is a montage, a tapestry of individual agendas. And the more you get people to kind of push them to the middle, the better it's going to be for everybody. I hope there's something magical on the back end for this team.
I hope so, too.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.